So, I will forgive the stupid people out there who have no idea what's going on in the world around them, don't know much about science, clearly don't quite understand how technology works either, and are unable to get into the minds of criminal harassers to understand the motivations, thought processes, and tactics used by criminal harassers. I will forgive these idiots. But it's really obvious that members of the general public are incapable of understanding, or maybe they don't want to understand, the cutting edge technologies that so-called activist groups like BLM, which are really just domestic terrorist groups who hate women, hate America, hate everything around them because they're just miserable pieces of shit. These groups, whatever you want to call them, such as BLM and others like Antifa, BLM is not the only one out there. They use very advanced cutting edge technology to stalk, harass, and harm people who they don't like. These would be members of opposite political parties or people who go against the ideologies and criminal tactics of BLM and other groups, but they steal technology. Like, they literally hack into legitimate, technological companies or databases and steal technology and then use some pretty cutting edge innovative technology to stalk and harass members of opposite groups or just people they don't like, or women, or people who they think owe them sex and they're not getting it from them. You literally have to think outside of the box when you're dealing with criminals, because criminals don't think and do things inside the box, right? That's why they're criminals. That's why they're not, your local librarian or whoever, teachers, police officers, whatever. They can also be criminals, but not usually. So you have to think outside the box. As a career master's level research scientist, I was trained to think outside the box. I was also trained to very keenly observe and accurately record large numbers of data. Regardless of what that data is, you just have to record the data, even if it goes against your initial hypothesis or the aim of your research study or what you think should be happening. You have to record that data and count it anyway. Then you can get rid of the outliers when you're running your statistical analyses. I've been living in this unit for 13 years. The first 3 years, there were no issues. And then the Greenville group started renting to large numbers of career criminals, sex offenders, psychopaths. And as I keep reporting, one of them is a career criminal named Jasmine Irizarry. Irizarry is a psychopath. And I actually worked with her clinical team at the Shattuck Hospital in 2006 when I was doing my doctoral training for clinical psychology. My PhD program used the Shattuck Hospital as a training site for their clinical training program. I was working with Irizarry's some of the therapy team that were working with Jasmine Irizarry at the time. She was a teenager who had the compulsive need to vomit on staff because she had a communicable deadly virus that was transmitted through body fluids. And so the staff were all on high alert around her and were told to wear protective gear if they were going to be in her vicinity, because she literally was trying to kill people by vomiting on them, compulsively vomiting. And I was told, I did not directly work with Jasmine Irizarry, but she was there, as were members of my PhD program, that she was a homicidal psychopath who was trying to kill people by vomiting on them. She also had this need to contaminate everything with her body fluids. Well, Irizarry has been placed in that unit behind this wall between 2013 and 2022, and she is manipulative enough and technologically savvy enough to have apparently gotten hired or retained for her abilities by Oleg Aleseyev of the Greenville Group. And Mr. Aleseyev, being from Russia and thinking that things like surveillance devices and hacking are a good thing, he has bragged about Irizarry's cybercrime abilities and her technological savviness on multiple occasions, apparently thinking that there's nothing wrong with her criminal abilities and activities. So you do the math on that one. My place keeps getting broken into. My stuff is continually getting vandalized. I have no more underwear. I mean, I know that sounds funny and maybe a little weird, but all of a sudden my underwear